Hello, my name is Cole Smith, and I'm doing the fourth current event summary on what would happen to trucking companies if manufacturing was brought back to the States. So, first off, we're going to talk about increased domestic freight demand. So, if manufacturing was brought back to the States, more raw materials and finished products would have to be moved around. So that would be an increase in demand domestically for trucking companies. And previously, like finished products from like places from Asia, like China, Taiwan, Vietnam, all these places would be in the States now. So that would increase the amount of trucks on the road substantially. Second, it would shift freight patterns. Instead of being like the set routes that they are now, that have been set in a way that can handle the current demand for trucking, they would have to become more flexible to make up for this increase in demand, and the distribution networks would be more or become more decentralized um, to fit this more flexible trucking operation. Third, we will need a greater need for specialized hauling. Certain finished products require certain hauling conditions so that when they arrive at their destination, they're still able to be used. One good example would be like raw meat needs to be refrigerated as it's transported, so that needs special hauling conditions. And if we're hauling more finished products throughout the states, then we would need an increase in specialized hauling for those special products. Excuse me. And then fourth, we'll talk about potential rate pressures and opportunities. More domestic freight demand tends to tighten trucking capacity, which would heighten freight rates. So, trucking companies positioned near raw manufacturing hubs could then have a competitive advantage with their pricing because they don't have to spend as much going to get it because it's right there. They can just spend all their money on hauling it. Um, but competition may intensify, so it would be it would definitely get cutthroat out there. Jobs would certainly be lost. Um, Fifth, we'll talk about labor and infrastructure challenges. Um, the sudden surge in demand could, well, I say could, it most likely would result in driver shortages, which is already a issue in the industry as it is. So if it were to have such a dramatic increase in demand, that problem would just get a lot worse. Um, and not to mention increased wear on the highways. If you've ever driven in Conway, you know how sucky roads can be. So, especially with those really massive trucks going through on that asphalt all the time, with an increase in demand, the roads would be destroyed. Like they'd be cooked. It'd be like little rock everywhere. And then, so bottom line, it would be a net positive, just due to the demand and increase in sales. The raw amount of money coming in would obviously be good for any company. But it would have to come with a lot of restructuring from the companies. It would have to become more flexible. Like I said, they would have to figure out how to, keep drivers in seats. Excuse me. And we would have to spend a lot more tax dollars on roads, and construction workers would also be in high demand as well, just to keep the roads intact so the 18 wheelers could keep going. But I'm at my 5 minute mark, so thank you for listening, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Well, I say 5 minutes, I was at like 4:55. There we go. My bad.